Hi, this is Sharon McNall and I'm with inspiredbygram.com, and today we're going to be making these compact size college ruled composition books. We're going to be embellishing them with some trinkets and some baker's twine, all using Stampin' Up products from Nature's Poem and also the stamp set Enjoy Life. So let me show you, did two different colors. Today we're going to be creating the one in Blackberry Bliss, and we're going to show a reverse, a different inside theme, and then this one I used the same type of paper but just different colors, mint macaron and Cajun craze. And there we've got some heat embossing with clear embossing powder. So lots of fun. So let me show you the one. I had a request to do a larger composition notebook from a YouTube follower. So this is the one I did earlier, or a couple weeks ago. And this is a mini one. It's 3.5 by I think 4 or something like that. And this is how I have them all packaged up here and ready to sell, and with a pen. So this one I did not cover the spine. In today's project we're covering the spine, so a little bit something different, but all the same steps in the mini versus the I call it the medium one because this is, let me bring it in, it's a mead. The spine is much larger than your mini composition book. It's 7 inches by 5 inches, 80 sheets, 5 stars, the brand or name, and they come from Mead. So there's a couple stickers on the front and back side. Opens up like this. So we're going to take this and make this. This is amazing. I love it. So the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to remove these stickers. So you would not want to cover the book with designer series paper with the sticker on there, because 1, you're going to feel the sticker, and 2, you could possibly see through to the sticker. So they come off really easy. You just lift up the corner and then just get it started, and just if you pull slowly it releases, and just throw that away. And on the back side there's one too. So again, just go to the corner here and then just bring it around the top, and then just come back, hold, and pull. And they come off super simple, so no need to have those on. And now it's all flush. So you will need tear and tape for this project, because these have like this polyfilm on them, so your regular adhesive will not work, I don't think. I haven't tried it with regular adhesive, so I just going with my gut feeling, knowing that I think we'll need to use tear and tape. So I put it on both sides, so along all 4 corners, one full and a little bit, and I didn't want to waste any, so I didn't put it there. You'll need your piercing tool. So I find that using the piercing tool, and see mine's really sticky, you can release the backing of this tear and tape super easy. And if you do get it on the sharp needle part of this piercing tool, you can just take some rubbing alcohol and it will just come right off. Rubbing alcohol on like a paper towel or a washcloth, it just comes off really easy. So I'm doing the front here, getting it ready to go, and we're almost done here. All right, so we got a lot of tear and tape backing. I'm gonna get out of my way. You can't see it, but I can see it. All right, so this is what it looks like. The paper we're using is from Nature's Poem, and let's see, I've got 2 pieces, and this is using Blackberry Bliss in Cajun Craze, and we got Whisper White as the background. These are cut 4 3/8 by 7 3/4. You will need 2 pieces. So what we're going to do is we're going to, I like to flip it this way, and we're going to line, oh gosh, I already stuck it down. See, it's so hot and humid. Nothing is like working. Everything is just like not laying flat, but oh well. I think I fixed it. Let's go this way. Maybe I can do a better job. All right, so I want to make sure I've got some hanging off equally, and I'm going to just press right there And I'm just running down, making sure it's right against that spine, and then rubbing with my hand. And I'm going to bring in my bone folder and just going to give it a nice press here. Okay, so that's the front. Now we're going to do the same thing on the back side. We're going to remove that backing. See, even the tear and tape isn't really sticking. It's sticking to the needle. Oh gosh. Maybe tomorrow will be a better day with this humidity. I think we're all feeling it across the United States. It's just crazy, been hot and humid and raining and just a crazy summer. All right, so there we go. Now let's put this piece on. And again, we're just going to make sure it's against the side. And give it a press there, rub it, and then just use the bone folder again. Bone folder and your snips are going to be your best friend in this project. Okay, so those are stuck pretty good. Again, we're going to always make sure we know what side is the front and the back. Now we're going to take our paper snips and we're just going to trim off all the corners here. And this will reduce the bulk. Again, this is the same process I used in my other video, which I will link in the description below. Same process, except for when this book we were covering the spine. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking my paper snips and I'm just snipping right up to the book. So this paper will fold around the corner and then we'll smooth it out with the bone folder. All right, so this is paper side. So I think we can get away with just, well actually no, it is kind of poly. So you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be safe because I don't want this to fall apart for my customers. I sell these, a lot of these at craft fairs. And we'll go into selling. Why don't we go into selling now? Because I know I'm going to get asked that question. So how I'm going to price these, it all depends again on your market that you're in. My market might be totally different than your market. I think I can sell these for $5 a piece or maybe 2 for $8. But then again, I'm not sure. So I've never sold this size before. That's what I'm going to try it at and see where it goes. That will cover my, the supplies I've used. I've only used 2 pieces of designer series paper. We did use some tear and tape, and these didn't cost very much at all. I think they were like 50 cents. All right, so again, I'm just going to fold these up. And since this is paper, we can use our regular adhesive. And I'm just putting a little bit on there so I know that piece will stick. And again on the lower corner as well. Just fold it right up. Okay, so now I'm going to, for you, hopefully not, but I'm gonna add the tear and tape here because this is such a smooth finish that, again, I don't think your regular adhesive will work. So what I'm doing is I'm just running the tear and tape along the edge or close to the edge, and then you just tear it off. And I'm running it on all 3 sides. Okay, so now I'm going to give it a nice press, make sure it's stuck good. And we're going to release the backing, all 3. Sometimes it breaks in half, but that's all right. Okay, so now I'm going to fold over the top, turn it around, fold up over the bottom, give it a good press, and then the side. Now we don't have a lot of bulk here, so I don't think we need to trim off anything here, but if you did, I would just take my snips and just angle them and cut them off. So now we'll just take our bone folder just to make sure this is really nice and pressed down well. Okay, so that's the front. Now we're just going to do the same thing to the back side, adding our tear and tape. pinning it to the top and the side and the bottom. Again, run our finger alongside just to make sure it's really nice and adhered to your book, and use your piercing tool to release the backing. Comes off super easy. Okay, so now we're going to work with the corners again, fold one up and the top. Now bring in our regular adhesive, add a little bit there, fold that piece, add some to that paper, and fold it over. Okay, so now we're going to fold the top, turn it, fold the bottom, and then fold this side over. Bring in our bone folder, and just gonna give it a nice good press on all three sides. All right, so I don't see there's much bulk, but if you did have some bulk, just use your paper snips at an angle and just get in there and cut that off. Okay. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to smooth out these corners, because I'm not sure if you can see this or not. Bring it up to the camera. It's very jagged here. So if we just simply take our bone folder and just run it around the corner of that journal, you're going to get a nice smooth finish. Just give a really, really good press, angle your bone folder, and it's so much nicer. There's no sharp corners. So you're going to have to do this on all four sides. It only takes just a second to do it. Flip it around. Press real hard. You're not going to hurt the book. And then just finish up on the last one. And then just double check. And it all feels nice and smooth to me. All right, so we've got the front on. Now we're going to add the spine. Again, this is kind of like slippery, kind of poly film. So I have, let's see, I've got a piece. I'm using the reverse side of this designer series paper, Nature's Poem. This piece is 2 1/4 by 7 inches. So 7 inches is exactly that piece, or the width. So we want to make sure we're flush on both sides. So again, tear and tape. And we're going to release the backing. And I put tear and tape down the middle of this piece because I want tear and tape on this part. Sorry, this stuff is wicked sticky. On this piece right here, I want tear and tape so it doesn't move around on us. Okay, and then the middle piece here. This piece got under the other one, so it didn't come up as easy. It does. It's all layered, and it's also, so see how sticky that is? Okay, so now I cut this piece a little bit bigger. This is about 1 inch, so I want to just go over a little bit, and again, I want to make sure that my tear and tape is not extending. So I'm going to go over just a little bit. What I mean is over the spine about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so I've got it flush, and I've got it flush there. Okay, I'm going to give it a good press. Bring in your bone folder, press it down. So now you're going to flip it so that tear and tape is right here. So I'm going to bring this up, take my bone folder, push it against the spine. Okay, I'm creating, basically what I'm doing is creating score marks. Okay, score lines, marks, whatever you want to call them. And now I'm pressing in the middle. Now this isn't stuck yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm using my bone folder just to give it a nice good press. And I didn't get this on quite 100% straight. You can tell, got a little black showing there. and it's over the edge just a little bit, but I'm okay with that. It's homemade, and I still think it looks fabulous. All right, so now we're going to work on the inside. We need a piece, 2 pieces actually, 1 by 7. And what we're going to do with this is we are going to put this piece here, because if you don't cover this area up here, you're going to have it showing through, and I don't like to see that. So I'm just going to use regular adhesive. I think I'm pretty sure it's such a small piece. I think we can get away with just regular adhesive on this piece. The only time will tell if once I start using these composition books. I use them actually at my craft fairs to keep my receipts or sales. So what I do is I'm going to press it right up against the inside of that notebook. Again, it's 7 inches, so get it right on there good. And just give it a good press with your fingers at first, and then your bone folder. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing to the back. What we do to the front, we've got to do to the back side. Again, I'm just adding adhesive. And I'm going to line this up, tuck it way in there until it won't go any further. And I'm looking to make sure 7 inches to 7 inches, press, and then run our bone folder. All right, we're getting there, people. Thanks for sticking in here and watching the entire video. All right, so now we're going to need 2 pieces of Nature's Poem, and this is the back side of the leaves. It's very pretty, and I cut mine. I made sure I cut mine the same way. These are 4 5/8 by 6 1/2. So I need to round the corners. So I'm bringing my detailed trio punch, finding the quarter rounder here. And we are just going to cut, or excuse me, we're going to punch the outside edges. Make sure your paper's all the way in there before you press. Okay, so that just creates that nice rounded edge. And you need to do it on both. Okay, so now what we're going to do, get rid of those pieces, flip this over, and I'm just going to use regular adhesive because we're putting this paper to paper because our designer series paper is already on the book. Okay, so on all 4 sides, and again, I'm going to run it a little bit in the middle. And now we're going to, let's get that one out of the way. Going to match up our corners, looking for like basically a 1/4 of an inch on all, oh boy, I'm off on that one, a little bit bigger. So get this in the camera here. All right, that's good. So what I was looking here, I was looking on this side, looking on this side, and looking on this side, trying to get the same amount of border there, which is, it's very close. Okay, I'm just pressing with that bone folder. And now I'm going to do the same thing for the front. This is very easy. Once you get the hang of it, you can mass produce these very quickly. They make great gifts. Could be a very, I would think this is a masculine notebook. You know, it's always really sometimes hard to create masculine gifts. Because I know I want to make a lot of flower cards and stuff, and you know, items with flowers, but I also love nature. I'm a native Vermonter, so I do like to use nature as well in my projects. All right, so I'm just going to give this a nice press. All right, so it's looking good. Excited about this. I didn't think I'd like this paper, but boy, I really like it on a notebook. All right, so we are going to embellish this now. So I am using Enjoy Life, and I'm using the sentiment, when you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. So I really thought that went with nature. So we will bring in our piercing mat, some scrap paper, some Whisper White. We are going to be heat embossing as well. And we are going to start with Pool Party. Now, Pool Party is not in that Designer Series paper, and the one we're using, but I think it still goes well with it. And my stamp, this floor, kind of like flower image. We're doing full strength stamping. And we're just gonna stamp down and release. Sorry, I think I hit the camera. Sorry about that. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna emboss this with Blackberry Bliss, and we're also using clear embossing powder along with Versamark. So I'm just gonna take my embossing buddy here, rub it on the image, and that just removes any static, any fingerprints, whatever that might be on the paper. We want to make sure the emboss or the Versamark sticks. So I'm looking for my stamp. There it is. Okay, and I'm not really sure if it's clean or not because I've been making quite a few of these, and I'm not going to risk it. So I'm just going to clean it with my scrub here and go for it. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to ink this up in Versamark. Let me get my Blackberry Bliss ready to go. I'm so happy Blackberry Bliss came back. This is my favorite color. All right, so I've got enough Versamark on my stamp, and now I'm going to, sorry, hit the camera again. All right, so now I'm going to give it a press into the Blackberry Bliss. Now, depending on where you press this, you could get a variegated Blackberry Bliss color. So I'm just hoping I'll get it the same, but if it doesn't, and I get a variation of coloring, it's okay. So, and I think I'm going to, because I think down here, I've pressed a little bit harder than up in here, but I'm going to show you, it's actually kind of cool. I just discovered this today. All right, so let me bring it to the camera. I think you might be able to see it. You can see where the word breathe, to think, enjoy, to love is really dark. And up here, arise, in, and precious all along there is a little bit lighter. So it's actually kind of cool, and it kind of gives it just a different touch. So now we'll bring in our clear embossing powder. And on hot, humid days, I actually all the time I add these silica gels in here. You get them when you purchase shoes. You know, you see them kind of everywhere in packaging. I keep them and put them in my embossing powder. It just makes sure that the humidity stays out. So just a little tip for you today if you didn't know how what those are used for. All right, so now I'm going to bring in my heat tool. We're going to heat set this sentiment, and we'll be on our way. Once your heat tool is all nice and hot, you're going to see the magic of heat embossing. It's my favorite stamping technique. You just need to be careful you don't burn your fingers. Just work with an extra large piece and you'll be all set. All right, so that is done, and you can really see it now, the different variegation of coloring with the Blackberry Bliss. But again, depending on the pressure of your stamp into the ink is how you're going to get this effect. I think it's really cool. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take your Big Shot, and I used, I don't think I have them here in front of me, but I used the Stitch Oval and the Layering Scallop Oval to cut out. So, and it looks like this. So I put it on the Blackberry Bliss, and I added 4 dimensionals, and to release the backing of the dimensionals, you just press your fingernail into the backing of the dimensionals, and they just come right off. Super easy. All right, so let's bring in our composition notebook one more time, and we're just going to add this right to the middle. And I just love that Pool Party. It actually pops onto the pops for you. So now we're just going to embellish this. We are going to take the Baker's Twine. Comes in Blackberry Bliss. It's in the annual catalog. Love how this all coordinates. And what we're going to do is just going to cut a little, I'm not sure what the length is, but I just like to wrap it around. I try not to waste anything. And And now we're just going to tie a flat knot on the front, and I'm lining this baker's twine up right along the edge of that Blackberry Bliss spine. Okay, and I'm just going to tie that knot. Okay, so now I'm going to move it up and center it right around there. And to do that, you just lift up on it and it moves for you. Now we're going to bring in the leaf trinkets, and these are an embellishment that we sell on my online store, inspiredbygraham.com. I'm going to add probably about 4 glue dots to the back side. The back side is the flat side. They come in silver and they come in, I think it's copper. So again, I'm just adding 4. Just want to make sure it really sticks to the composition notebook and that it doesn't come off. And I'm going to angle it up where that knot is and give it a nice press. Now I'm going to trim these down a little bit. So they're super long. And I'm going to show you how you can fray these, because I think this looks a little like too harsh, so I want to tone it down a little bit. So all I do is, hopefully there's no glue on there, but I think there's a little bit. What I do is I take my piercing tool and I just put it into the baker's twine. And I just, what it does, it spreads it apart and it gives it just a different look to it. So you can kind of see that I think this is much more pleasing than this. This looks just a little too rough and harsh, whereas the frayed look just gives it a more natural nature kind of feel to it. All right, so I think this is just a little bit too long, so what I'll do is make a final cut with my ribbon scissors here. Just trim it down a little bit. And one more step is to add a glue dot to the back side of that knot so we know that's going to stay in place. Okay, so there you have it. Let me know what you think about this Blackberry Bliss Cajun Craze theme, including the pool party. I would love to know what you think. Let me bring in the other ones that I created earlier today. Again, this one uses the silver. See, there's a difference in the trinkets. Love them. All right, so here's the one we just made, the one I made earlier, and the one with the Cajun Craze mint macaron color theme. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned something new, and for all your Stampin' Up! Needs, please visit my website at inspiredbygraham.com. Thanks for watching and have a great day.